Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 19 on EA Sports. Coming up next, we've got what should be a good one between the monsters of the Midway, the Chicago Bears, and the Minnesota Vikings. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Chicago Bears and the Minnesota Vikings. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club. They're off to a terrific start, unbeaten at 5-0 through the first month and change.
And you can hang a lot of this early success on their defense, too. They're the tone setters for these guys, and the entire team feeds off of what they do.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Bears, we're in October now, so everybody should be coming into form, shouldn't they?
They really should, and what you have now is a full routine established about what you want to get done and full focus on the season.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Quick throw that's complete on the inside slant. And they're able to get this one across the 35. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. On that quick throw, what do you think? Possibly something they saw at the line to go there?
Possibly in the game plan. And you notice they went with an empty backfield. No backs there to help.
It's a foot race. Touchdown, Chicago! A big play there. His fifth touchdown now on the year. And the Bears have taken the early lead. Well, that's how they envisioned it. Get the football to start the game and score it.
And I don't know if that was scripted. Was it an audible? Or was it just a play call that they had in their pocket? No matter what, they had the right call on against the right defense, and they end up in the end zone.
That drive started on their own 25. 2 plays, 75 yards later, into the end zone. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. And some room to roam now. And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A great effort there with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Vikings are an extra point away from tying this thing up. They blitzed defensively there, but he was able to slip through that first layer, and then he was gone.
I think they won the leverage game, didn't they?
Yes.
Right? They saw the blitz coming. That got to him a little bit, but they leveraged it perfectly and found not just a crease, a gigantic hole. And off he goes, and he's still going all the way to the end zone.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And we are tied at 7. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. when you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Back to throw here. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Daniil Hunter in there yet again. What else is new as he continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue line. Blue line.
They'll look to throw. Hitter here, it's complete. And down he'll go at the 25. Call it a gain of 5. And that'll bring up 4th down.
And the big guy catches the ball out of the backfield, and oftentimes it's quite a surprise to the guys playing defense because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. And out now come the Vikings. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. Going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
The first carry for the former Nittany Lion. This is Saquon Barkley. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a 1st down.
The good old toss play. And this time they go to the left side, so give a lot of credit to the offensive line. Center, guard, tackle, able to seal that side. But the guy that we don't give enough credit to, wide receivers. They have to do a great job of blocking downfield. Otherwise, that play can be spilled in the backfield. In this case, everyone handled their responsibilities, and they picked up really nice yardage.
It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. On 2nd down, here's Barkley. And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Khalil Mack's starting to get a really big-time reputation as a pass rusher, and rightly so. So explosive off the edge getting to the quarterback. But he doesn't neglect his run duties as well. How about that tackle right there? Such a package he has, able to play the run and the pass so well.
On 3rd down, Jackson. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. As his guys are in for 6. And the Vikings are able to strike for 6. And he showcased his blazing speed on that one.
Was he wearing football cleats or track spikes? Because he was gone. Big-time play. And just think about what that does if you're a receiver on the team with him. Well, that's got to open things up for you as well, because if I'm a defense, I've got to get back deeper and deeper in order to keep him in front. But I'm not sure how many can actually keep him in front with that speed.
Carlson now to add the extra point. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. Carlson now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
Hurry up, here we go.
On play action, they'll throw. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Daniil Hunter in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. And with that sack, partner, he just became the all-time NFL sack king.
So now the Mount Rushmore of sack.
Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis back with you as it's Bears football here to begin quarter number 2. They do, however, have a tough 3rd and long coming up.
3-19.
Looking to throw. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Daniil Hunter getting him once again, his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. Here's Matt Bosher now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And it's fielded at the 34. Nice move at the 40. It's a nifty return of 29 yards. And the Vikings, they'll be set up well as they take over in great field position. 1st and 10. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. A 1st down carry for Barkley. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
That's a football play right there. That takes me back a little bit. Toss sweep to the right. Get it to your back. Get a lot of people out in front. Control the line of scrimmage. Wide receivers blocking downfield. It almost feels like half the crowd is in front of him, getting it down to the secondary. They have a tough time getting him down.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. In for the score. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. So the quarterback drops to throw, looks over, and boom, a guy that wide open, he has to be thinking, wait a minute, this is some kind of a dream. This is too easy.
Yeah, a great dream. One you don't want to wake up from. But for the defense, almost feels like there was a bust in coverage.
Carlson on for the PAT. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And it's now 21-7. Carlson now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the 10. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a third down.
The end result was brute force on brute force. But think about everything that's going on if you're playing defensive tackle. You're dealing with at least one blocker across from you, trying to deal with him, shed him, and maybe even a second one before you have to try and make the tackle on the big guy.
It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up fourth down.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. We're in the second quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, trying to get him more involved here on this drive, maybe. 34 yards there and a first down.
I know that play went to the left side, and that's what it was designed to do, an outside handoff there. But how about the whole offensive line being involved? Seal the left side where the play was going, what they call play side. But how about on the back side? Just taking care of business to make sure no one can get there and disrupt it.
Is the biggest key to left tackle?
Without a doubt. Control that edge. Get out there. You want that left tackle. If you bring your tight end over there, either way, control the edge of the line of scrimmage, you got a chance to rumble.
That one goes for 36 yards.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Back-to-back nice plays. 12 yards that time and a first down. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. More from Minneapolis after this. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great play there with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. So that drive, 4 plays, and it results in a 4-yard touchdown run. Carlson now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. You can count his carries on one finger. They've only given him the rock one time, Charles. What gives?
So we can't draw any conclusions just yet. He has to touch the ball multiple times in order to get into a rhythm and have a chance to have success. You know who else gets into a rhythm? The offensive line. They feel better about what they're doing when they know they've had multiple opportunities to get it done.
Yeah, well, the conclusion we draw so far, they're losing here in the second quarter. Let's see if they change tunes. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And he's got his man on the out route. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. They'll look to throw now on first down. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Mike Hughes. And he'll actually lose about 7 yards on the return, but they have possession of the football on the turnover.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
And now out comes Minnesota. They've really distanced themselves. They have put the pedal to the metal, I guess, so to speak.
So definitely have them in the rearview mirror, don't they? I mean, you're exactly right. Being able to string together these drives that end up in points, it's almost like a run in basketball to create that distance, and they're on a really big-time one right now.
It becomes contagious, doesn't it?
It absolutely does, because oftentimes it translates to your defense as well, because they're excited about getting the ball back for their offense that's playing so well.
Well, they are clicking right now. And an alley to run. And he's got this down to the 35. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
So while the offense has had a big day, no one on that side of the ball is excited about seeing a loss like that. Their goal, to make every play positive, and when you have a bad one like that, your next goal is to not let it spiral into more. The Bears have put an extra defender in the secondary on 3rd down.
Yep, they're in the nickel. Throwing is Jackson. He'll buy some time right. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off down at the 10.
Well, I get what he was trying to do. He was moving to his right and trying to shift the coverage, but instead he shifted the coverage also to the right and threw right into it for an interception.
Hurry up, here we go. 319. 319.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. A gain of 3, 2nd down. So we've reached the second half upon us sooner than we bargained for. Week 7, second half. Let's do it. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Lamar Jackson marching back onto the field. And he's had some time to chew on that interception he threw on his last drive back in the first half.
Well, normally we say you want to get him right back out on the field and play again, right? But as you mentioned, had the halftime, had to stew about it a little bit. Maybe he'll have a chance to relax a little and kind of laugh and chuckle and let it go.
He'll hope to respond positively here to start the third quarter. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And now running right through it. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
4 down.
This time, Jackson will throw it. He rifles one that's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 46, and they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line. They needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the third quarter defensively. They did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break, taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize.
The Vikings after it, and they get there for the sack. Daniil Hunter. Who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time.
And the pressure gets to him again. Daniil Hunter in there yet again. My goodness, make it 5 sacks for him now in this one game alone.
So, Brandon, we've sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And now out comes Minnesota. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
Room past the 20, and finally taken down at the 26-yard line. That good for 19 and a first down, and they're going to speed things up here. And not quite sure what just happened there, other than we do know that he spiked the football on first down. He'll wind up losing 3, and now it's third down.
Wow, that play got shut down in a hurry.
As soon as the snap came, you can see defensively they were just closing in. That was going nowhere.
Yeah, you count on your offensive line to give you a little bit of space, a little bit of time so you can make a move. There was none there for him.
Patriot! Patriot!
Now this time he'll look to throw. Open man is Taylor. He's got it. They give him 27 yards on the third down conversion. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. To the right side, complete to Taylor. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. They give him a gain of 37.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards you.
And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. Jackson. And that will be caught, but out of the end zone, says the field judge. It's ruled incomplete.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
Jackson now. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. As his guys are in for 6, and the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive, and it all culminates in a touchdown for Minnesota. Carlson now to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And he will find his man on the outside. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
But that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. He's up now to 80 yards receiving in the ball game, and he's got a first down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go.
They'll look to throw here on first down. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Daniil Hunter. in there to get him again, and that's his 6th sack of the ball game, one off the NFL record of 7.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation.
And the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Daniil Hunter in there for the 7th time in this one game alone, and that will tie him with a late Derek Thomas for the most sacks in a single NFL game. And a fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 18-yard line. And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Finding room at the 30. And all the way up to the 37-yard line. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
One play has him to the 37 here for 1st and 10. They go play action here on first down. He's got a man wide open, complete. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That goes for a gain of 31.
And they just had another big completion there. And I think in days gone by in the NFL, you might have asked, is this a little bit of overkill? Is this rubbing it in? I don't think people feel the same way nowadays.
The age-old argument. Then you could say on the other side, if you're going to get angry about it, stop it, right?
Go ahead and stop me. And I think a lot of the times they just look at it like, let's just play the game. And however it turns out, it turns out.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. 2nd and 10. Here's Jackson again. That's going to be caught. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that's leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that will extend this big lead. Carlson now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field in his fourth punter. Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held him in. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Daniil Hunter in there yet again. They can't block him, and now with 8 sacks, he has set a new single-game record. Time for a break. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Now let's go. Green 39.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And now out comes Minnesota. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner. And just think about how good that feels because every team has a goal when they start the year, to win at home. All right? And sometimes you don't win all of them, but they managed to get that done today. Just think about your routine stays the same. Everything's familiar. You feel right going into the game, and they translated that into a win.
They did indeed. They protected the home field, and now the final stages. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as he'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. Open space inside the 10. That burst good for 20 and a first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Watch him now, Barney! Barney!
They come out here in the eye. They'll try and run for it with Barkley. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game: defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
So they are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that, and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team, and we were losing late in the game like this, and he knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
That escapes us, but in the end, the pressure too great, and he goes down. And another timeout called by the Vikings now. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. The Bears on 3rd down. They're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
And the penalty, a big assist to this offense. Now it's 3rd and 3. He'll drop to throw. And this throw will be intercepted. Picked up by Mike Hughes. And they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Good starting field position for the Vikings as they have it 1st and 10. Room to run inside the 40. A big play there for Minnesota. 54 yards.
Well, we're beyond the tone setting right now. This guy's been the bell cow all day, and they'll continue to rely on him to move the chains, drain the clock, and lead his team.
Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. They come out here in the eye. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. I tell you, Charles, You play to the final whistle, I get that, but there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game with it already well in hand.
You seem a little squeamish about that last score.
I struggle with it. I struggle. But on the argument, I get it, on the other side is, hey, do something about it. Stop them.
I'll guarantee you, I know who was really excited. Fantasy owners who had them. Hey, listen, getting the points from me. They're not worried about hurt feelings or anything like that. That's just new age stuff.
Well, there you go. Just your everyday leading big and you onside kick it with a lead. They got it. I mean, it worked, but interesting call.
I think because they have such a margin, they feel a little bit bolder about what they're doing. And it's not only just to try and increase their lead, but that's their way of saying we're in full control of this game and we can kind of do what we want.
Look at the spin, and now the rookie's free. And he does take it in for the touchdown, but a flag on the field, and I don't think this is going to stand.
Yeah, don't put the points on the board just yet.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
Brutal, so take away the long touchdown.
It's a cruel game sometimes, partner.
The Vikings going to use their third and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Stays on his feet. Space to run past the 20. He's still barreling through. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first. And with that carry, he has done it. He breaks the single-game rushing record.
How about doing it in the spotlight of our game? How wonderful is that to see all those yards accumulated, culminating in a brand new NFL record?
Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on first and goal. Oh, Jackson's going to throw it. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Adrian Amos with a pick. And he'll be stopped shy of the 15 at the 14-yard line on the return. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Vikings, they remain as hot as anyone, 6-0 now through the first month and a half. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Green Bay Packers. Meanwhile, for the Bears, things are definitely going south quickly as they fall now to 1-6. And they'll get an extra week to think about it as the midseason bye might be coming at just the right time. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.